Investing with a strategy, the roadmap to property success. Buying property without a plan is like driving blindfolded. You might arrive somewhere, but it'll cost you. And if you're chasing financial freedom, it's not about luck, it's about having a strategy. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 6 exact frameworks smart investors use to make property work for them, not the other way around. Now, if you're new here, my name's Lloyd Edge. I'm a property investor, author of the best-selling book Positively Geared, and the founder of Oz Property Professionals, a buyer's agency that's helped everyday Australians purchase over $2.5 billion worth of property. But I didn't start with millions. In fact, I was a school teacher on a single income when I bought my first property. Since then, I've built a portfolio of 18 properties and, more importantly, helped thousands of investors do the same, using strategy, not speculation. So if you're looking to build a property portfolio that aligns with your financial goals, stay with me because I'm giving you the step-by-step structure most investors miss. Here in Australia, we love property, owning your own slice of land. The great Aussie dream is part of the culture. But more than that, property has been one of the most resilient and profitable investment vehicles in this country. Still, buying any property and expecting to get rich just doesn't work anymore. Why? Because Australia isn't just one property market, it's thousands. Every suburb, every street can behave differently based on supply, demand, interest rates and population growth. If you don't have a strategy that takes all of that into account, you're not investing, you're guessing. Let's break down the strategy. Let's start with the most common strategy, capital growth, or the classic buy and hold. You purchase in a well-located suburb with strong demand and you hold for the long term to benefit from rising values. It's perfect for wealth accumulation, retirement planning, or building equity to grow your portfolio. But it might cost you to hold in the short term. Some high-growth properties are not positively geared, so you'll need to be able to cover that cash flow gap. Next is manufacturing equity. This strategy works when you don't want to wait for the market to move. You create the value yourself. Just be warned. Reno blowouts, council delays, and tight selling windows can turn a quick profit into a slow pain. Cash flow strategy. Cash flow investing is all about buying properties that generate high rental income. You might look in regional areas or lower price suburbs where yields are strong. It's great for building a passive income, but often comes with less capital growth. So if long-term wealth is your goal, cash flow alone won't get you there. Positively gearing and balanced portfolios. A smart move? Blending strategies. Create a balanced portfolio where your high-yield properties help cover the shortfalls from your capital growth ones. That's how you build a positively geared portfolio without sacrificing long-term wealth creation. Negative gearing. For high-income earners, negative gearing might be part of the plan. You wear short-term losses on paper, use them to reduce your taxable income and wait for capital growth to make up the difference. But this only works if you can afford the shortfall. It's not a strategy for investors scraping by. And then there's investing through a self-managed super fund. This strategy gives you control of your retirement savings and offers tax advantages like tax-free rental income and capital gains once in the pension phase. You can even use borrowing structures inside an SMSF, but there are a lot of rules. So get advice and understand the restrictions before jumping in. Mini case and expert insight. Let me introduce you to Michael and Melissa. Their goals were clear: retire early, build passive income, and eventually fund their dream home using equity, not savings. So here's what we did. They bought a regional property for $395,000, already renting at $450 a week. 6 months later, they spent just $22,000 on a smart cosmetic renovation. Think paint, flooring, fixtures. The result? A new valuation of $550,000. Rent jumped to $490 a week, and it's on track to hit $520. Their yield? Close to 6.8%. The property is now positively geared, and they've tapped into the new equity to fund investment number 2. All because they had one thing most investors don't: a strategy tailored to their goals. This isn't about buying cheap or hopping for luck. It's about executing the right move at the right time with the right plan. The risks of no strategy. Now let's flip the coin. What happens if you invest with no strategy? Well, here's what I've seen firsthand. You buy the wrong property, you borrow too much, you fail to diversify, and worst of all, you have no exit plan. You end up stuck with a poor performing property and a stack of regret. Action steps. So how do you avoid that? Here are your next steps. Define your goals, short and long term. Match a strategy that aligns with those goals. Study the data. Follow fundamentals, not headlines. Build your team. Get a broker, buyer's agent, accountant, and a solicitor. Review regularly. A great plan evolves as you do. And if you want help choosing the right strategy for your situation, download our free property strategy checklist below. Remember, strategy isn't optional, it's your entire foundation. See you in the next one.